Okay, you guys gotta stop. I know there's a pretty red button, but no, don't push it. I swear every time I turn around there's more of you. I don't know what happened. This video was supposed to be for 10,000, not friggin' 12. Hello, dear gentlefolk of the internet. What happened? I was at 9,000, and then you guys were just like, nah, we're not good there. I don't know if you don't like odd numbers, or if you guys are just really big fans of Dragon Ball.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?!
So now we're here, I guess. Being over 10,000 subs is insane. I like how I started getting all those really stupid, expand your brand emails, buy followers, buy some shoutouts before YouTube had even sent me their little congratulations email. So when I asked you guys how we should celebrate, I got some really fun ideas like congrats and congratulation and arson. I'm kidding, kind of. I know my sarcasm and irony can come across differently to different people, but I seriously do love you guys. I don't think I'd still be doing YouTube if it wasn't for you. If I wasn't on a college budget, I'd love to do a giveaway for you, but I did get a couple really solid ideas like some shoutouts and some redesigns. Originally, my plan was to steal people's OCs and redraw them in my comic without permission, but I didn't want to come across as, well...
I feel like a big jerk.
Yeah. So I think maybe what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna steal people's OCs and their personas, like, because I'm a fan of them, and draw them. I'm gonna make them some art because I'm a fan. I wish there was a name for that. So without further ado, here's some art stuff. If you do like the art I show in this video, I have all the artists linked below in the description. Now, just so we aren't sitting here in awkward silence, I had you guys give me some questions and such. So now we can sit here in one-sided awkward small talk. Big improvement. Now get ready for me to butcher some names. Sorry, I'm American. We are only taught to say things not properly.
And
yeah!
Woo!
Here we go!
Dezina9 asks, got any OCs you want fan art of? Think we could work together sometime? Yes and yes. I have a ton of OCs, most of them are characters or concepts for my webcomic, but I do post them sometimes. I have a more dedicated section over on my DeviantArt if you'd like to peruse my creations. Fair warning, most of them are edgy. I have a very clear preference when designing characters, and I for sure want to do more collabs with people. But my schedule is a little weird right now. This whole online schooling thing is, it's taken me for a ride and I don't appreciate it. But school is almost done, so maybe we can organize some big summer collab. I'll try to organize something fun for you guys. Take another swig of water for another project that I've randomly planned. Okay Nakun asks, if you were to meet your hero artist, who would it be and why? Does a team count? Cause, level 5? Hey, how are you? You should call me. My DMs are open. But if I had to pick, maybe Lord Gris. I've been following her for a while, and her style is freaking amazing, and I love it. Let me tell you, that is the life. Getting to draw pretty anime girls all the time, and getting paid for it. She's one of the first artists I based a large-scale project off of, and she's one of the first that I bought prints off of. I could English. There's a ton more, but she was the first one that came to mind, and I need to stop before I geek out and this video turns out like 30 minutes long because I'm rambling. I mean, have you guys seen Lotus Bubble? Or That's Kidding? Or Gretlusky? I can do this forever. What about you guys? Who are some artists you like? Please don't say me, because I can't deal with niceness. I don't know why you guys are nice to me. I can't. Macapoodle asks, you got any bad commission stories? Let me tell ya, Behance is, freaking annoying. Everyone there wants to pay you next to nothing for hours and hours and hours of work, and they will mooch as much free work off of you as possible. I mean, I know there's real clients on there, but whoo boy, All the ones I got were, very interesting, to say the least. Not even all the ones I accepted. There were some others that reached out to me that, I was not comfortable working with. I don't know if they count, but, no thank you. Green Machine says,
Do a redesign.
No, I don't wanna, okay? Maybe I'll do it later. Ronnie Donnie demands for a story time. Smiley face.
It's called the Ugly Barnacle. Once there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everyone died. The end.
Does that count? Does that count as your story time? Are you satisfied? Are you okay with that? Is that what you wanted? Isaac says, I always like learning about what influences an artist. That'd be an interesting topic. Oh yeah, for sure. Anyway, the bunny poke... Okay, influences, huh. Well, I've already mentioned before about Rogue Galaxy, but I'm not gonna do that here because I already said I wasn't gonna nerd out, and I'm not gonna make another 30-minute long video.
Are you sure about that?
So Kill la Kill and other trigger animations are amazing, and I love them. I do want my style to get a little more looser and more stylized. So those and Gretlesky are actually pretty big influences for me right now. Teen Titans was another pretty big reason why I wanted to learn how to draw, cause Raven, and Blackfire, and Raven.
Bye, Squidward! Bye, Mr. Krabs! Bye, Squidward.
You said bye, Squidward, twice.
I like Squidward.
Disney, I think, is pretty obvious. Into the Spider-Verse, freaking love that movie. Invader Zim, Tim Burton. Suddenly my lack of anatomical understanding is making a little more sense, isn't it? Bunny Punk Soldier asks for the do's and don'ts of commissions. This one for sure, I am planning on making a video in the future. But some quick notes. Don't give them the finished image before they pay you, obviously. Do communicate as often as you can with your client just so you can check in, make sure you're on the right track, and make sure nothing has changed. Don't assume that you just know what they want, because I cannot tell you how many sketches I've thrown out that I was really proud of, but that wasn't what the client wanted, and it was my fault for not listening. Don't post your work without a watermark. Do put your signature on the image in a really annoying place. Like if you were trying to steal the artwork, where would you put it just so it was super annoying to try to steal it? Because let me tell you, if you don't, it'll get stolen. Not speaking from experience. Bendy. Does that help a little bit? Hopefully it does. When I make my commission video, I do want to communicate with When I do make my commission video, I do want to communicate with other artists who offer commissions, just so I can compare our procedures, see what works, see what doesn't, try to pick the best out of everything so I can give you guys good advice. Now usually for my process for commissions, I will ask a whole bunch of questions. I'm sorry anyone who commissions me, I know it's a little annoying, but I try to make sure that I know what they're going for and kind of what image they have in their head. So then I'll do some rough concept work, try to do some really loose sketches. I'll send it over to them, see what works, see what doesn't. If I have one that I've already sketched up that they like, I'll go ahead and clean that up. Once the client okays it, then I get paid, then I finish it, and bam! I got paid for doing an art thing.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast!
Says, I like hearing about some of the things that happened during art class. Well, let me tell you, I liked being in an art class. We used to stare at naked people for 3 hours, and then draw them. But then the Fire Nation attacked. No, but don't worry, I do have more story times coming out from art class. It's still been quite an experience, even online. Now, some of my most recent art classes, we had almost everyone show up to our first critique with absolutely nothing to show for it. This was several months into the semester, and no one had anything done because they didn't read instructions. I mean, there was a couple people, like me, and a couple others, but like 90% of the class had absolutely nothing to show for their first project, which was it was an experience. Last class, we had a lot of intense arguing over art programs, which was super fun. I can't say I've ever heard people yelling about Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, and Paint Tool Sai before, but that happened. All the Procreate people were pretty quiet in the background, honestly. Oh, and we also had another Little Miss Perfect, which was super fun. Oh, and then there was the classmate accusing another of being racist, so that was also fun. Kanohi Kirill screams into the void, "Story times!" We need more of those. Well, you should have been here earlier. Ha! I promise I'll do more, okay? It's not my fault you came in late. Please don't cancel me on twitter.com. Sandfan7 says, maybe you could talk about your art journey or what led you to art. Those videos are always fun. I can make a more dedicated video later if that's what people want, but what first got me into drawing was actually writing, if that makes any sense. I was writing a lot when I was little, and I kind of wanted to see what my characters might look like, so I started drawing them, and then Rogue Galaxy came out, and then my weird weeaboo phase started, and I'm not still in the weeaboo phase. It's fine, it's fine. So after anime bases, cringy self-shipping OCs, Gaia online posts, and overly edgy characters later, here I am, doing stuff. Shiny Piece asks, how about for a story time when you got into some art drama? You talking about Lily Snowflake, or, Okay, art drama. Well, there was a time when I made an entire avatar for a very problematic artist. Like, tons of poses, expressions. There was months of work put into this. And she paid me $10 and said she'd give me exposure. And I took it because she had like 2,000 subs and I had like 20, and I thought 2,000 was a big number, and yeah, here I am, hi. There was also a tracer at my school, but I can make a more dedicated story time for that. Casey Beckham asks, what was your process to developing your own art style? And how many years have you been practicing? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys, the down low, what other artists, don't want you to know about developing your own art style, okay? You're not gonna hear this advice from anybody else, so just don't tell anybody that I'm saying this, okay? Because this is kind of counterfeit in the art world, okay? You gotta steal stuff. Yes, I'm a professional thief and I have successfully fooled all of you. Honestly, I steal things that I like in other people's artwork, and I try it in like a piece or two, and if I like it, then it stays, and if I don't like it, then it goes. If you're struggling with an art style, you can always try some art studies of other people's work, you can try some art challenges, or you can have a style reference board. I honestly keep forgetting to use mine, but I made one for Project Evolution. I wanted my webcomic to have a completely different style than my normal work, but I keep forgetting that it exists, and I keep forgetting to have that reference up while I work. If I can find it, I'll go ahead and show it, but it's literally just pictures that I saw from people that I follow, and it's things that I liked, so I was like, I'm gonna do that, and I haven't. But I will one day, I promise. I don't think I have a definitive art style yet, but it's kind of fun not having one. I don't want to get too locked into doing just one thing or just one style, How long have I been practicing? Well, I started drawing when I was like in 3rd grade, but I never really started practicing, or at least like intensely studying, until I was 11, and that was still studying cartoons, and I didn't know that drawing tutorials really existed back then, okay? So basically it was all still really cartoony anime art, basically what I do now, but a little less anime and a little more Winx Club, if that makes sense. Minty demands that I go over the brushes I use in Clip Studio Paint. Okay man, calm down, jeez. Well, recently I've started to get into that really messy, kind of textured look. I'm still working towards it, I'm not 100% happy with it yet, but I'm working on it. So for line art, I like to use the Real G pen. I don't use it for cell shading commissions or for my comic work, since filling in color with those can be a little tricky. I like to use the colored pencil and the design pencil for blushing, shading, etc. And then for hair, I'll use the transparent watercolor and I'll blend it a little bit with the fingertip brush. All the effects brushes that I use, things like glitter, sparkles, all those really cool lighting effects, those are all from the Clip Studio Asset Store. I'd give you the names for them, but they're all in Japanese, and I have not been practicing Japanese. Sorry, Duolingo. I butcher English enough, I really don't want to butcher Japanese along with it. Rudolph wants a story about request moochers. Shockingly, I haven't actually had too many. Usually when people ask, I tell them that I do art giveaways pretty often on my Twitter and Instagram, and I offer really cheap commissions. So no one's been too upset, honestly. There was one guy back when I did base art who would harass me pretty often. This was back on my deactivated Twitter, but I really don't want to talk about him too much, because he is still on DeviantArt, and now he's reposting my old base art without credit, so that's fun. And we're gonna end with Finn. What's your advice for making videos, such as how do you maintain a good schedule and build a fan base?
Are you comedy me?
I don't know if I'm qualified to give that advice, honestly. I don't really know what happened here. I literally went a whole year without posting videos, so hi. I will say that your schedule shouldn't impede your life. I mean, people will watch your content and follow you if they like you. You don't need to upload super often. I mean, look at JonTron. If you didn't follow him on Twitter, you might think he died. So long as you have fun making it, and it's something you're happy to slap your name on, that's really all you need. I mean, I record with Audacity, a free program, and I use a $50 microphone. I edit all my videos with iMovie. I'm not super fancy over here. You just gotta have fun with it. If you want to build a fan base, I recommend communicating with people if you can. You can't just drop your stuff and run. Don't be afraid to collab with people, join in on contests, talk to other people you admire, you know, that sort of thing. I got my first boost in subs when another channel gave me a shout out, and we had only talked for a little bit. I found online friends just by chatting with people in my comments. I had my first big video because I joined in on an art challenge, you know? If you are going to put yourself online, there are some pretty important things to remember. You really gotta have a tough skin. There's gonna be people who, leave rude comments or just pick you apart for whatever reason. And there's gonna be people who just don't like you. And you gotta remember that you can't please everyone, you know? They're gonna not like you and there's nothing you could really do about it. You gotta make the content you enjoy, and eventually you'll get a following. Everyone grows at their own pace. I mean, I've been doing this for a few years and I've just hit 10K, so just don't take yourself too seriously and have some fun. Alright, I think that's just about everyone. I probably missed some because I am terribly disorganized. Hopefully that was enjoyable for at least one person out there. Like I said, the artists are linked below. There's a ton more that I wanted to do, but then this video would be, way too long, like my normal videos. I think it already turned out a little bit long. I'll try working on some shorter videos for you guys. I know not everyone likes sitting through a 20-minute long video. Who knows, maybe if I ever hit 15 or 20K, we can go ahead and do this again. If I'm gonna have a big following, I'd like to use it for something good, you know? Let me know what you guys think, and if you have an idea for a future video, let me know. I'm trying to keep track of the videos people want me to make, so leave it in the comments and I will try and remember to keep track of it. Hopefully, maybe. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Please give some love to these small artists because they're amazing and I love them, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now. Don't you love when your neighbor wants to start doing the lawn right when you're recording? It's great. He is seriously doing his lawn. Bro, you don't need to do your lawn. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a screaming child outside.